My beloved protected one receives this revelation with great attention and surrender, because everything I'm about to tell you will completely change your life and the life of your twin flame. Today, I come to you for something that has just happened and has wonderfully transformed everything that was occurring. Before we go deeper into God's Word today, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now. Every video carries a message God wants you to understand more clearly about love and destiny through His Word, about the person He has prepared for you. If this resonates with you, comment 1. If you don't feel it, yet simply write 0. Every comment is motivation for our channel to keep growing. Let's begin. There are moments when heaven moves with intensity to accelerate what has been preparing for a long time, and this is one of those moments. What I bring now cannot wait. You need to listen to this with an open heart, because this news has the power to change the course of your love life forever. There was a very recent instant when your twin flame felt something so strong and so true that their body reacted as if it could no longer contain the energy. It was a reaction similar to someone receiving long-awaited news, a leap of joy that the body makes even before the mind understands the reason. And the reason for all this is directly linked to you. I am not exaggerating when I say that this person's heart was invaded by such a powerful wave of hope that it couldn't be contained in their chest. Something awakened. A guarded feeling began to stir strongly within the heart of that special someone. Most importantly, this awakening has to do with what you represent. It is as if, suddenly, everything that was once doubt, fear, or confusion began to give way to a certainty that can no longer be ignored. You were felt, you were remembered with intensity, and something within that twin flame lit up with clarity. We are not just talking about fleeting thoughts or common emotions. We are talking about something that overflows, that causes change, that breaks the rhythm of common days to give way to a new direction. As I speak with you, it's as if the universe is whispering in synchrony. Get ready, because now is your moment. And it's not just about waiting. This is a phase where acting with awareness and openness will be essential. Heaven is opening invisible doors, and within those passages lies an opportunity so unique that letting it pass would be like closing your eyes to your own destiny. You know how hard it was to feel like everything was stalled, how much you waited for a sign, a confirmation, an answer that would ease that weight in your chest. But what few understand is that the invisible also moves, even if everything seems stagnant on the surface. And now the invisible has manifested with force. The joy that burst forth in your twin flame's heart is living proof that something was touched by higher forces. I have not come just to console. I have come to reveal, to show that what seemed distant is closer than you imagine. The happiness that seized this person's heart is not a coincidence. It is a spiritual reaction to the connection that never ceased to exist. The intensity of this moment is a kind of energetic response to what you have cultivated in silence: love, longing, faith, and hope. And now, dear protected one, the time has come to harvest. Heaven is releasing a new frequency, and whoever is in tune with this truth will perceive miracles appearing in the details, in the words that arrive in unexpected attitudes, in encounters with purpose, and above all, in the feelings that are revealed with clarity. This is one of those chapters that mark the soul, that make time slow down internally, just so you can feel what is being delivered. It is not magic, but divine synchronicity, a connection that resisted time doubts and distances, a connection that is now awakening with power. This message is urgent because the moment is special. Blessings are being released at this very instant, and heaven says you must be alert, sensitive, and prepared. Your twin flame did not jump for joy by chance. Something was seen, something was felt, something was understood. And it is precisely this turning point that can bring the romantic fulfillment you have waited for into your life. Now I want to guide you through every detail of what is arriving in the coming days, which is so special. If you are ready, I will show you everything, my beloved protected one. There are moments in life when the invisible ceases to be just a feeling and becomes an event. And today, I need to tell you that something like this has just happened. An energetic transformation manifested with such intensity, so real, that it reached me as an urgent calling. The vibration between you and your twin flame was touched by a spiritual force that altered the natural course of things. We are not talking about dreams or heart projections, but about something that was truly felt, lived, and absorbed by the soul. Your twin flame went through a very significant emotional experience. Something woke up inside that person and broke a barrier that was there without being perceived. It was as if suddenly the veil covering certain truths began to fall, and along with that clarity came a surge of joy so intense that the body could not contain it. The impulse of happiness was genuine, spontaneous, and true. And behind that emotional outburst lies a reason deeply connected to you. Many times you thought you were alone, waiting for an answer, unsure if that connection still pulsed on the other side. But the truth, dear protected one, is that while you carried faith in your chest, your twin flame was being transformed within. And now that transformation has reached a turning point. What was once confusion begins to turn into certainty. What was blocked begins to open, and you are part of that. What happened to that person was not common. It was a kind of emotional liberation, as if something internal had broken free, allowing a new feeling to flourish without resistance. And the most incredible thing is that this change was accompanied by memories, sensations, signs, and desires that point directly towards you. There is no doubt that the universe is weaving the threads of this story with precision. Imagine for a moment someone's heart being seized by a strong memory, one of those that warms you from within. Now imagine that heart realizing that the absence left longing, that the bond did not fade, that the feeling did not die. That perception caused something profound. It was as if a lighthouse lit up inside, guiding the soul back towards something that was dormant. And that something is you. While you deal with your own wounds and wait, there were battles on the other side too, but now something has surrendered. Pride lost its strength, masks began to fall, and the truth of what they feel began to show clearly. The joy that exploded inside that person did not arise by chance. It was a direct response to a sign from heaven, an internal confirmation that something needed to be lived, rescued, built with courage. This extraordinary event is more than a beautiful moment. It is the spark that precedes a new phase. From here, the universe begins to conspire with more intensity. You can feel it. The signs are clearer, the thoughts more connected, and time seems to demand a different kind of attitude, not to run after anything, not to hurt yourself trying, but to be available with a heart prepared to recognize what arrives. Perhaps you have been tested in waiting, in patience, in faith, but now it is as if the universe is saying, look more closely because something is changing for you. The feeling of stagnation that dominated you for so long begins to give way to concrete movements. Attitudes, unexpected messages, revealing dreams, soul encounters that have no logical explanation, but make complete sense to the one who feels may emerge. Do not ignore this call. What happened to your twin flame was real and caused a great internal transformation. You may not yet see the reflection in the physical world, but energetically, the bridge has already been created. A connection is reactivating with strength, clarity, and purpose. And now, everything depends on how you respond to this openness. Keep your sensitivity awake. Trust in synchronicities, perceive the details. Sometimes the answer comes disguised as a simple attitude, a discreet approach, words that touch deeply, even if they seem simple. The important thing is to understand that this is not just any moment. This is a turning point, the kind of instant heaven carefully chooses to bring about destiny-changing encounters. Dear protected one, you are being called to participate actively in this transformation. Nothing you have lived through so far was in vain. Every prayer, every thought directed with love, every tear shed in silence, all of that fed this connection that is now starting to flourish again. And what heaven wants to tell you is, the time has come. The leap of joy your twin flame made was a clear sign that love is still beating, and more than that, it is ready to be lived in a new way. You don't need to do more than feel with truth and move forward with confidence. What is yours is being guided back. And when the universe decides to act, nothing can prevent what was sealed by the light. My beloved protected one. Some emotions don't ask permission to manifest. they simply overflow. When the soul recognizes a truth, the body feels it, and what happened to your love was exactly that. A moment so charged with meaning that the heart exploded with happiness, and that energy reverberated on all planes. It was like a ray of light passing through the spiritual field, touching layers that were previously dormant. And that is why I have come to tell you something inside your twin flame awakened with such intensity that the vibration reached the highest levels, calling for heaven to manifest. That leap of joy was not caused by just anything. It was a direct response to something that profoundly touched that person's consciousness. It may have been a memory that surfaced out of nowhere, a sudden feeling when hearing a song, a dream so real that it left traces during the day, or even a felt presence in the air. But what truly matters is what it caused. It was as if for an instant the world stopped inside so that joy could expand. It was not common happiness. It was the kind that surprises even the one who feels it, the kind that arrives when the heart opens to a truth that previously seemed confusing or distant. A happiness born of unexpected relief, of the sudden clarity that a living love exists, waiting to be lived with maturity and surrender. And that is directly linked to you. I need you to understand something. When a vibration reaches this level, nothing remains the same. What happens in the invisible is real. It may not be visible to the eyes, but it transforms the path. And at this very moment, something is being drawn into the destiny between you and your twin flame. The leap of joy that person made was like an energetic wave sending signals in all directions, and you, even without realizing it, felt something different in recent days. It was not a coincidence, it was connection. That manifestation was like a message sent to the universe, as if the heart was forcefully saying, "Now I understand, now I want it, now I feel it." And when a soul declares this with truth, the universe responds. The leap of joy was the translation of an awakening, a liberation, a recognition that this love has weight, has importance, and deserves to be cared for. It may seem like something is still missing for everything to align, but I assure you, something has already changed. What was hidden is beginning to show. The energy that was previously contained now wants to circulate. And when a soul vibrates with such truth, everything around it begins to adjust to accompany that new rhythm. You can perceive it even in your own sensitivity. Feelings intensify, intuitions become clearer, and answers begin to appear sometimes in the simplest attitudes. When your twin flame felt that joy, there was also a break in resistance. It is as if the heart accepted what it was previously trying to avoid. And this kind of change is profound because it reveals that something was understood within. The truth that that person resisted is now beginning to make sense. And love, when accepted, brings with it a different kind of courage. You are part of this transformation. The energy of your heart reached the other, and the leap of happiness is the confirmation of it. What you emanated with faith, what you offered to heaven with hope, now returns to you in the form of spiritual movement. This means that the field is being prepared for something new to happen, but not just anything, something with purpose, something valuable, something capable of truly transforming the course of your love life. Dear Protected One, heaven would not allow me to bring this message if it were not real. That joy was not born out of nothing. It was provoked by a feeling you nurtured with your own soul, and now returns to you as a clear sign that the time for transformation has arrived. It is as if life is saying, you are ready to take the next step. The leap of joy resonated in the invisible, but its consequences will be felt in the concrete. You can expect firmer attitudes, more authentic glances, words that finally make sense. You can expect internal changes that are reflected externally, and above all, a spiritual openness that will allow this love to be lived with maturity, surrender, and reciprocity. Do not let this revelation pass as if it were just information. This is a living truth pulsating between you and your twin flame. And now that this person felt the joy, the next step is to recognize, accept, and allow themselves to live what was postponed for so long. Everything is aligning for this to happen in the best possible way. Stay attentive, because when the heart vibrates in tune with heaven, there is no way to prevent what is true from happening. My beloved Protected One, The soul does not always manage to explain what it feels with words. Sometimes the truth is not revealed by reason, but by a feeling that invades with such force that there is no way to resist. And that is what happened to your twin flame. The reason for the leap of happiness was much more than a simple thought. It was an inner revelation, a kind of deep recognition of something that was always there, even when ignored. That joy was accompanied by unexpected clarity. It is as if suddenly, your twin flame's mind was freed from a series of distractions, fears, and confusions. What was previously denied began to be felt with clarity. It was as if that person looked inward and effortlessly saw that true love always had a name, a face, a connection. That person's heart was seized by such a genuine feeling of relief and certainty that there was no way to hide it. When the soul understands what the heart already knew, there is no way to pretend that nothing is happening. And the happiness that emerged was a natural response to the presence of that love that never stopped beating. A pure joy that sprouted as a direct reflection of the truth finally embraced. The big reason for that explosion of happiness is the emotional recognition that you never left the center of the feeling. Although time has passed, although other experiences tried to occupy that place, the bond with you remained, and now what was dormant begins to emerge with a force that surprises even the one who feels it. That is called awakening. And that is exactly what happened. That person understood that what they felt for you was not common. It was not just a memory or a fleeting longing. It was a feeling with roots, with purpose, with history. And that understanding did not come through words, but through real sensations. A flip in the stomach when remembering your name, an inexplicable warmth in the chest when thinking about you, a genuine desire to draw closer. And all of that awakened a happiness that could not be contained. The awareness that love had not been lost, only sleeping, made that person feel alive again, as if an important part of their own soul had been recovered. And that internal reunion generated such intense joy that it could only be expressed in the form of impulse and attitude in a body that vibrates in energy that overflows. The heart screamed with joy because it recognized its place. It is important that you understand how special this is, because love does not always arrive with consciousness. Many times people love without knowing they are loving. They feel, but they do not recognize. And when they finally understand what they are experiencing, the emotion takes control with a different force. That was the moment your twin flame lived. And the explosion of happiness is proof that something true is about to take shape. That person understood that you represent something rare, something that is not found every day. And that is why this love gained new value within the heart. What was once doubt turned into certainty. What once seemed confusing aligned, and the reaction was one joy. A sincere joy that comes when the heart finds the answer it was looking for. And that answer has to do with you. The most beautiful thing about all this is that this happiness did not arise from something external. It was not provoked by a visible event, but by a profound transformation. This shows that what they are feeling now does not depend on external conditions to exist. It is a mature feeling that is born from the inside out, and that makes all the difference. You must know that you were felt. Your energetic presence touched that person in a unique way, and that spiritual connection awakened something that was ready to be lived. The joy that surfaced is just the beginning. It announces that something is being prepared with great love, that a new opportunity is being written in the divine plans, and that your heart was not waiting in vain. The reason for the overflowing happiness is you. It is the feeling you share. It is the connection that even being invisible remains alive. And now heaven reveals this to you so that you are prepared. Because when a soul vibrates in gratitude for recognizing true love, the next step is to move in the direction of that love. And that is what is about to happen. My beloved protected one, when love truly awakens within two souls, united by a purpose, the universe does not stand still. There is a point where the spiritual and the earthly touch, and it is exactly that point that you and your twin flame are reaching now. The joy that overflowed in that person's heart was the signal that was missing for the heavens to act with more intensity. It is not luck. It is synchronicity, a spiritual alignment built with every sincere emotion you carried in your chest. You may not have noticed it immediately, but something began to move in your favor from the moment your twin flame allowed that feeling to flourish. It was as if a new line had been drawn in destiny, clearer, closer, more alive. Spirituality received the message it needed. That person's heart is more open, more sensitive, more willing to recognize what you share. And when that happens, the signs multiply. Time takes on a new rhythm. People, places, conversations, and even thoughts begin to connect in a way that seems like coincidence, but it is not. You can notice it in small details that suddenly catch your attention. A memory that comes out of nowhere, a name that is repeated, an image that moves you. Reality begins to dialogue with your intuition, and the world around you seems to confirm what you feel. These signs do not appear to confuse you. They emerge to prepare you because now the heavens are adjusting the paths so that this love has space to flourish in a mature way. This means that unexpected and not necessarily grandiose attitudes may come. Sometimes it is a simple word loaded with meaning. Sometimes it is a prolonged glance, a softer behavior, an approach that previously seemed unlikely. These synchronicities are not fantasies of the mind. They are divine strategies. Spirituality acts respecting each person's timing, but it also intervenes with precision when it identifies that the heart is ready to understand. And your twin flame, after feeling that unexpected happiness, began to emit a new frequency, more connected, more present, more receptive. That opened space for everything that seemed stagnant to start being reviewed and reorganized. You too are being called to participate in this, not forcefully, but with presence and sensitivity. Everything you feel is being heard, and the synchronicities that appear around you are ways the universe found to tell you, keep believing something greater is happening. You don't need to have all the answers now. The important thing is to recognize what is being shown. Every coincidence carries a message. Every thought that suddenly appears can be a warning, and every deep emotion you feel is a conversation between your soul and the spiritual planes. Heaven acts with precision when it sees souls that have something true to live. Dear protected one, this synchronicity that was activated is going to bring hearts closer, strengthen bonds, open doors. Because when the universe perceives that love is being recognized with truth, it begins to create paths where before there were only walls, and those paths are being prepared for you. You may notice changes even in yourself. Observe how certain wounds begin to lose strength, how your patience becomes firmer, how the desire to live something light and real becomes stronger than your fears. That is also part of synchronicity. The universe not only prepares the other heart, but also yours, so that everything is lived with clarity, maturity, and reciprocity. The vibration between you and your twin flame is stronger than ever, and this new phase does not demand haste, but awareness. The attitudes that arrive now will be loaded with meaning because nothing will be casual. Everything will be conducted with purpose, and heaven only asks one thing of you: trust. Trust in what you feel. Trust in the timing of things. Trust in the answers that arrive even when they are not expressed in words. My beloved protected one, not all opportunities arrive with grand announcements. Some approach subtly, but they carry a value so deep that they transform everything around them. And what is being placed before you now is exactly that: a true spiritual opportunity carefully prepared by the heavens, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. This opportunity is directly linked to what you feel for your twin flame and what that person has begun to awaken in their heart. It is no coincidence that everything has intensified in recent days. The leap of joy your twin flame made was not an isolated event. It was the activation of a new spiritual frequency that stirred up what was hidden, released previously blocked energy, and now needs to be welcomed. This new vibration opened a space between you, a space where love can be lived more consciously, more truly, more freely. This is one of those rare opportunities where everything seems to align internally before manifesting externally. It is the type of opportunity that demands sensitivity because it will not always arrive wrapped in the way your mind imagines. It may be an unexpected meeting of glances, a conversation that changes the course of everything, a simple but intention-laden attitude. The important thing is to recognize the spiritual value behind what is being offered. It has been prepared for this moment. All your pain, all your waiting, all your renunciations molded your heart so that it would be ready now. And this readiness does not consist of making great efforts, but of being truly available. That is what heaven expects of you, that you be present in the here and now, that you allow love to enter again without armor, without hiding for fear of being hurt. Your twin flame felt something that can no longer be ignored, and that inner clarity is paving the way for attitudes to be taken. That person may still be trying to understand how to act, but the strength of the feeling is pushing everything towards love. What comes now is a direct consequence of this awakening, and if you know how to welcome it with maturity, you can live something that will forever transform your way of loving. The opportunity presented is more than a beautiful moment. It is a door opened by higher forces. It carries blessings, carries purpose, carries truths that can no longer be postponed. This is the time when the spiritual and the emotional intertwine, and that completely changes the nature of the bond between you. It is no longer about fantasies or expectations. It is about presence, real connection, conscious surrender. Heaven does not deliver something so special to someone who still needs to learn the essentials. Therefore, if this opportunity is being placed before you, it is because your soul has already understood the value of true love. You know that it is not just about having someone by your side, it is about sharing the path with someone who recognizes your light and wants to grow with you. And that is what is being offered now. A journey as a couple, guided by spirituality, sustained by truth. Dear protected one, this opportunity has a divinely programmed time. It will not arrive twice in the same way. Therefore, remain attentive not with anxiety, but with sensitivity. Feel what is being shown. Trust in the attitudes that arise. Approach with wisdom. The universe has already confirmed that this love has roots. Now it wants to show you that it also has a future. Everything that is about to happen is a consequence of what was lived internally. Your twin flame understood something essential, and that understanding is going to generate a new cycle. A cycle in which you will not only be remembered, but valued. Not only desired, but sought with intention, and that changes everything. My beloved protected one, now that the heavens have opened this opportunity, it is essential that you know what to do, so as not to let this unique moment pass. It is not about acting desperately or going out looking for answers outside of yourself. This is not a race, it is an invitation. And like every spiritual invitation, the most important thing is the way you position yourself in front of it. What heaven expects of you now is presence, clarity, and truth. The first essential attitude is to care for your vibration. This means aligning your interior with the energy of the love you wish to live. Avoid feeding thoughts of doubt, abandonment, or devaluation. They are like noises that make it difficult to hear your intuition. Instead, cultivate trust. Trust that what is coming to you has foundation, that your twin flame is in a real process of transformation, and that everything that needs to happen is already being prepared spiritually. This is the moment to strengthen your connection with yourself. Look inward. Ask yourself if you are ready to live this love without carrying the burdens of the past. If there is still pain, resentment, or fear, surrender it to heaven. Not as someone who gets rid of something, but as someone who offers something to be healed. The love that is arriving needs space, and that space only opens when you release what no longer serves. Another important attitude is to be receptive. This does not mean exposing yourself or putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. It simply means letting your energy say yes to life. Being receptive is not closing the doors of your heart. It is not protecting yourself so much as to prevent something new from flourishing. Your twin flame is feeling that change, and the next attitudes may come subtly. If your arms are crossed internally, you may not perceive the approach. Heaven also asks you to trust in time. Things don't need to happen quickly to be true. Every soul has its own rhythm. Your twin flame needed time to understand what they were feeling. And now that this understanding has arrived, The universe needs time to adjust the paths. Your part is to continue living with an awakened heart, attentive, but without anxiety. Because when the right moment comes, the answer will arrive with clarity. Value the present. Sometimes heaven has already begun sending signs, but they are so subtle that you may not have perceived them. Something may have already changed in that person's behavior. You may have already felt the energy closer, or you may have dreamed with intensity. All of that matters. All of that counts. Observe, feel, give thanks, and above all, be ready to recognize this love when it presents itself. Many times, the pain of the past makes it so that even when a person receives what they have asked for, they close off for fear of suffering again. Do not allow that to happen to you. Do not reject the gift that is being prepared out of fear of reliving an old chapter. This is a new moment, a new cycle, and it demands a new stance. Dear protected one, your twin flame is being guided. The energy you share has been recognized in the spiritual planes. The leap of joy that person experienced was the beginning of a concrete change. Now everything depends on how you position yourself. If you choose to trust, give thanks, and remain open, the flow will continue. The doors will keep opening, and you will be surprised by attitudes that will show how real this love is. Do not doubt the strength you possess. Your light was felt. Your surrender was seen, and that is why heaven decided to place this opportunity before you, but it will not be available forever. The decisions you make now are seeds. If you sow with faith, you will reap with abundance. If you doubt too much, you may lose what was so close to happening. This is the moment to place your heart in the right place, to trust more in divine wisdom than in the traumas that were left behind. Love is ready to be lived. And what is asked of you now is not sacrifice, but presence. An honest, clean, and light presence that welcomes what arrives with maturity and gratitude. My beloved, protected one, there is a force you need to feel now. The love that was always written for your life is approaching with more intensity than ever, not as a vague promise, but as a reality that is becoming increasingly palpable. The connection between you and your twin flame is taking shape, and what once seemed distant now walks towards you with purpose. You may have already noticed that the signs have become more evident, that the heart is more sensitive, that memories have become more frequent, and that certain emotions surface more easily. This is not imagination. It is your spirit reacting to the approach of true love. That love which went through tests, through waiting, through lessons, and which is now beginning to find the fertile ground to flourish. What you feel has foundation. The joy your twin flame felt was not an empty impulse. It was a real reaction caused by an inner understanding, a living memory of everything that was felt, and above all, of the importance you hold. That person is being moved by something that cannot be explained logically, but is understood through the truth that beats in their chest, and that truth points towards you. It is as if time is working in favor of this love, as if everything that seemed separate is beginning to align in an almost magical way. But this is not magic. It is a spiritual construction made step by step within the heart of each one. You are not simply waiting for something to happen. You are an active part of this approach. Your energy is touching that of your twin flame, and that is why that person is being guided toward you. True love is not composed only of pretty words. It is built on emotional truth. It is strengthened when two people look at each other with honesty, when they recognize what they feel, and when they decide to live that feeling with maturity. It is exactly that kind of love that is approaching now. A love that does not deny what it feels, that does not run away, that has the courage to embrace what you represent. You have been prepared for this. Everything you faced, everything you overcame was not in vain. Heaven molded your heart so that it would be ready at the right moment. And that moment is now. What once seemed only a hope now begins to manifest with attitudes, with deeper sensations, with clearer signs. You are closer than ever to living a love with true meaning. It is important that you understand that the universe does not deliver something so valuable at just any moment, only when there is maturity, openness, and faith. And all those qualities are already in you. Your twin flame is feeling this call. They are being touched by a genuine desire to draw closer, to understand what you share, to allow this bond to flourish without the barriers of the past. Perhaps the love you waited for so long did not arrive in the way you imagined. Perhaps it demanded more patience, more surrender, more inner silence. But all of that served to strengthen the roots of what is about to be born. Now it is no longer about waiting. It is about being present, about recognizing every detail as part of a divine construction that is leading you toward what is rightfully yours. My beloved protected one, there are moments when the universe seems to hold its breath, as if everything is being adjusted behind the scenes, so that a special moment can happen. And now that is exactly what is being prepared for you. A different atmosphere surrounds your life. And I need to warn you with affection and seriousness. Something magical is about to manifest, not by chance, not by coincidence, but because your energy and that of your twin flame are so close, so intertwined, that the scene is already being drawn. That something approaching may not have a defined shape yet, but the important thing is that it carries the essence of what you always dreamed of living. It is a response, it is a return, it is a direct consequence of everything that has been built spiritually until now. When someone's heart beats with genuine joy upon feeling true love, when the soul clearly recognizes who truly matters, the universe moves. And now, life begins to align events so that this love can reveal itself in a surprising way. You do not need to control anything. What you need is to be awake, because that magical something can arrive in the form of an unexpected attitude, a sincere approach, a conversation that changes everything, or even a connection so intense that it leaves no room for doubts. Anything can happen when the heart is open, and yours is vibrating exactly at the right frequency to receive. Do not think that this is just one more phase. What lies before you is one of the most important moments of your effective journey. What your twin flame felt with such intensity was not lost in the air. It generated a spiritual impact that now reverberates in attitudes, in signs, in internal changes. The magic of this moment is precisely in how everything connects so naturally, so deeply, that it seems to have been written a long time ago. And it was. The love that is approaching does not come to confuse, but to bring clarity. And that clarity will appear little by little in details that only those who are attentive manage to recognize. That person may seek you out with more softness, with more depth in their gaze. Something seemingly small, like a shared memory, or a simple invitation, may carry the strength of a choice made with the heart. Therefore, be prepared, be whole. Do not let old wounds dictate your present. This love is not a repetition of the past. It is a new cycle that is born from everything you have learned, and the magic is precisely there in living love. With more awareness, more surrender, more truth. Something magical happens when two people decide to stop running away and start choosing each other maturely with their souls. Dear protected one, you have not come this far in vain. Every thought you sent to the universe with love was heard. Every prayer, every sincere request, every silent tear was welcomed. And now heaven begins to respond, and the answer comes with beauty, with synchronicity, with lightness. Life is going to start surprising you. And when that happens, I want your heart to be at peace, ready to welcome what was always yours by destiny and merit. Simply trust. What is true knows how to find its way back. And this person, your twin flame, is feeling more clearly than ever that there is something that must be lived with you. Do not waste this time with unnecessary doubts. Use it to align yourself, to take care of yourself, to be whole, because when the opportunity arrives, you will recognize it not by the form, but by the vibration, and it will touch you deeply. My beloved protected one, now that everything has been revealed, I want you to take a deep breath and feel the strength of this in your heart. You are not hearing these words by chance. What happened to your twin flame was real, profound, and touched dimensions that you may not be able to see with your eyes, but can clearly feel within your chest. The leap of happiness that person made was the reflection of something that heaven had already been preparing, an awakening that connects directly with your heart. That joy was not born out of nothing. It is a consequence of a feeling that resisted time, distance, and attempts to forget. It was the intimate recognition that there is a love with a spiritual root and that this love is alive. And the most important thing of all is that you were and continue to be the reason behind that change. Your presence, even at a distance, provoked something transformative in the one you love. Heaven wanted you to know this now because there is an open window of opportunity. This phase has a purpose. It is not about testing your patience once more, but about preparing you to live love with maturity. This entire revelation did not come only to console your heart, but to activate a new consciousness within you that true love demands conscious surrender, not passive waiting. You have been guided by real feelings, by intuitions that did not arise out of nowhere. Spirituality showed you signs strengthened you on the days when everything seemed distant, and now confirms that your faith was not in vain. What is being conceived in the spiritual planes has deep roots and is ready to become reality at the indicated moment in the most surprising and natural way possible. It is fundamental that you do not doubt yourself. Many things may have hurt you along the way. You may have created layers to protect yourself, believing that was necessary to endure the absences and the silences. But the time now is different, the energy is different, and heaven asks you to allow this new cycle to begin with lightness. You have already gone through the wounds you needed to live. You have already felt the absences that made you grow. You have already had a heavy heart from waiting without knowing what would come. Now you are facing a new possibility, and the only thing this possibility demands of you is truth. It is not about having all the answers. It is enough to be whole to recognize what arrives with love. It is enough to be emotionally available to welcome what the universe is entrusting to you. Your twin flame is also in process. The joy that person felt was not just relief, but a kind of awakening. And that awakening will unfold in attitudes. They may appear simply even timidly, but they will bring clear signs that that person's heart can no longer ignore what they feel for you. Heaven is organizing encounters, dialogues, memories, and emotions so that everything conspires in favor of your union. And if you remain attentive, trusting, and with an open heart, you will begin to notice these approaches more frequently. It may be in dreams, in intense thoughts, in unexpected contacts, or in small attitudes that say a lot. Dear protected one, this is your hour, and not just because of everything you have been through, but because of everything you have become on the path. The love that is approaching is not just a response to a wait, but a reward for having kept your heart clean even in the midst of doubts. The universe delivers to you not just a love, but a transformed conscious love willing to reveal itself with truth. Remain attentive in the coming days. There are still revelations to come, and they will show you concretely everything that heaven is already spiritually preparing for you. It is not about believing with your eyes closed, but with an awakened heart. Because when you feel you know, and now you are feeling it, true love is closer than ever. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. How do you feel after what God revealed to you today? What touched you the most, stayed with you the longest, or strengthened your faith in Him? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this message brought you peace and joy through God's Word, please like the video and subscribe so you don't miss the next revelations. Your support truly motivates our channel to keep sharing deeper content, helping you day by day understand yourself more clearly in the light of God's Word. May God bless you. See you very soon in the next video. Amen.